All right, getting started here. Send them the link out. You can edit this part off later. Here, do you have the link, Kelly? Here, I'm going to paste it into the chat because I really don't want to go into my Voxer on a live video.
If you, okay. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Okay. We can edit this part off hopefully later.
I wasn't going to join a second time there. I'll go into Voxer. Okay.
Yeah, paste it in. I should have been more ready.
It's all good.
Coming now. And then I'll share my screen so that they can see the picture. Oh. Okay.
Good Lord. Come on, internet.
Is it not letting you post it?
It's just being slow opening Voxer. Probably because I don't use Voxer on this thing.
Ah.
Or because I clicked it twice. That might be part of it.
Got it?
Yeah, I just logged in. Away. Okay, I'm posting it right now.
Oh, there it is. It's kind of a bummer that you can't see how many viewers we have because I'm going to have to keep switching.
Yeah. I think for the next one we should try to use Blab. I found out you can screen share with them.
Okay. We have one viewer.
Woohoo!
See, I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for now so that this craziness stops. Once we get everyone in, we can start it, and that's when we'll cut the recording for the saved.
So just put in the chat box, chat in to say hello so we know who's joining us today.
Rachel says it just says loading.
Maybe it's an issue with Hangouts.
Uh-oh. I left it public.
Okay. Weird.
We got 2 viewers. Maybe that's just us.
We're pros at this, right?
Yes. Chat in and say hello if you guys are in. If you look on the left-hand side of your screen, if you've never done GHO, there's a little
Coffee Nancy in.
A little green. Oh, is it? Did she in? I can't even see.
I've seen that she's in on Voxer.
Oh, okay.
And Ari's watching it via Google+.
Okay. So chat on in if you guys want to. I'm going to give it a minute or two so we can get people in before we go ahead and get started. Okay, Nancy said she was in. They don't have the link to join the chat. Well, but let's see. We're newbies at this. True Confessions of an EdTech TOSA. This is only our second time ever doing a Google Hangout on air. All I have is the event page, Ari, which is what we sent you. Maybe I have to enable the chat first. Kara, can you chat with us, Kara? We can't see who's in here, but we can just tell if you're chatting. Look in the chat settings. Oh dear. I don't have chat settings. Let's see here. Let's guest join. Kara responded. Did you see that, Kelly? Kara typed. No. Why isn't it updating? Sorry, guys. Hang tight. We're trying to figure this out.
I don't see.
There's a separate link for the Hangout. Well, that's the only link that I was given from this. Any ideas, Kelly?
Mm-mm.
Because there should be a way for them to be able to chat. Okay, well, Kelly will man, let's do this. Kelly will man the Voxer. So text in, instead of audio, text in your questions as we go into the formMule group on Voxer, and Kelly will man that. And we'll go from there. So far I only have 4, oh, we got 6 people now. So hopefully we're all in. So we'll go ahead and get started because I want to respect everyone's time too. Are you ready to go, Kelly?
Yeah. And then I can put, because I know we have that form we want to send out, I'll pop that into the formMule Voxer group too, since chat we can't.
Perfect. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and screen share because we have our fun little title. So this is kind of our first inaugural episode of True Confessions of an EdTech TOSA. And I'll go ahead and let Kelly tell you a little bit more about that since it was her brainchild.
So we kind of, just listening to the Voxer group a while back, excuse me, it just sort of came up, and I think it was actually Cynthia that said it. It's True Confessions of an EdTech TOSA, and things that we kind of admitted that we didn't know how to do yet. And I started thinking that would be a really cool idea for, initially I thought a podcast, but it's not a podcast if you need video. So, and I'm not a big fan of the word vlog. So we're sort of kind of like trying this out and see how it works, and just do little quickie little video casts of how to do something so that we can help each other get better. So we are starting with formMule, and as you saw, we are learning Google Hangouts on air kind of as we go. We did a little trial run with the 2 of us yesterday. Thought we had it dialed, but you know, there's always glitches, but we will go ahead and get started. I'll turn it back over to Cynthia. So if you do, let me get back to one thing, because I know a couple more people may have popped on. And then I just see something from Ari, so I will do that, Ari. Hold on. If you have any questions, then you can Vox me. I have the Vox open right now for the formMule group, but Ari said if I copy and paste the link that I see, then I should be able to share it. So I'm going to do that right now into Voxer. So Cynthia, if you want to just wait just a second.
Okay, you got it?
I think so.
All right, mine isn't, and I don't have the Omnibox in mine. Mine's just a standalone window, but that might just be because I was the one who started it. So Kelly just popped in that link. Hopefully that might work for some of you to join in and be able to chat instead of just watching. But I think we might be ready to get started, or should we wait just a minute more? Someone let us know if that works, okay, if you can access the chat there.
Now I see Rachel's joined the call. Okay, now I'm seeing people down below.
Perfect. Okay, excellent.
And if you are seeing us down below, if you could go ahead and mute yourself so that we can get through it, that would be great.
I don't think they can talk, Kelly.
Okay.
Oh, maybe they can, because I just heard what sounded like Ari.
That was Patsy, I think.
Oh. Hi, Patsy. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I can actually.
Can you mute?
Yes.
Okay. I think I might be able to as well. Yep, I can too.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So we got Rachel and Patsy in, and we'll see if anybody else pops in here. But we'll go ahead and get started. And like I said, this will be recorded, obviously, so that others can watch it as well. So I'll go back to my screen share. Maybe if I can find the right buttons. Here we go. Okay, so formMule, everyone was talking about automation and how they really would like to be able to do that more. And so formMule is one of the first things that I used when I started to do that. When I became a TOSA, I now had a work order system that I needed to manage, and basically I use it with a Google form and formMule. So it allows me to send out automatic emails when I receive a request, and it sends them a link that they can use to schedule with me, and then I can send them your request has been completed, let me know if you have any other questions, emails, and it all happens automatically, which is wonderful. So Kelly, if you'll go ahead and post in the link again into the actual Hangout there, but I have a form for all of you to take a peek at. So if you go and fill this out, then it will, later on, we'll send you an email. Once I have it all set up, we'll send you a little email from formMule. So it won't be sent now, but I'll go ahead and send it later so you can see what one looks like. So if you want to fill that out real quick, then you'll be able to see that. I'll get those as soon as we're done here with the chat. I'll get those go ahead and sent out. I didn't have a chance to set it up ahead of time, unfortunately. The day got away with me today. So while we're going on, you guys can just fill that out real quick and let us know. So what I do have here, though, is I have a form that already has some responses in it. And the add-on for formMule is actually for Sheets, so you'll have to go ahead and turn your form responses into a Google Sheet, which we'll do here now. And then you will be able to set up your add-on. So Kelly and I have just come and put a little bit of information in here. Obviously, forms that you might use will probably have a lot more information, but we figured this would be good enough for our demonstration purposes today. So what you'll want to do is go on up to Addons, and if you don't already have formMule add-on, go ahead and go to Get Add-ons and just search for it and install it. And the first time you come in, you'll need to launch it. And it's going to ask you to select the sheet where your responses are going, just in case you have more than one little sheet at the bottom there. So I'll go ahead and choose that. And this one is the one, if you wanted to automatically send them an email when they submit a form response, for instance, if you're setting this up ahead of time and you want your teachers or your students or whoever to get an automatic response as soon as they hit submit, then you're going to turn this on. Okay? Otherwise, you can have another trigger. So let's say for now that we wanted to go ahead and turn that on. So you want to send it on form submit. You get a couple options here. You can log a case number for each submission, or you can even log the edit URL for each form submission as well. That might be handy if you have an assignment where you want students to go back and maybe edit something in their form submission or something like that. So that's there for you. I use the case number for my help ticket system. So those are just options that are there for you if you need them. And then also the time trigger. So I haven't had good luck with the time trigger. So I don't know if I just had some issues with it or what. I tried it a couple times. It didn't really function well for me. But supposedly you should be able to pick a time of day or of week or of the month where it'll automatically go through and send out your emails. But I haven't had a ton of luck with that one, so I just leave this one on. And then once you're done setting those, you go ahead and go next. Now you're going to choose how many templates you want. And you can go back and edit this later if you decide, oh, I want a different one. But for instance, I just helped someone set up a formMule for something that had 6 different templates. So there were 6 different emails that might need to go out based on the conditions of what they chose in their form. So if they chose this option, they need this email. If they chose this one, they need a different email. So you can set up as many templates as you need for this, and then you set up the send condition. Okay? So in this case, let's say I want to use this form for them to sign up for a course. So I just need one template. And if you have more than one template, it's helpful to name them, but we just have one, so I don't even necessarily need to change the name there. And you have some options here. Do I want to send for which rows? Is there a certain row that has information that's going to trigger that email? Or send for all rows just means whenever someone submits, they get an email. So in this case, I'm going to leave that. But let's say I wanted to do course sign up, and each course gets a different email. So then I would choose the send conditions for course sign up, and then I could say, you know, if course sign up says course 1, then they get a specific email. If it says course 2, they get a specific email. So you can use all these options. But for this one, let's just use the top one. And then you save. It's going to create some hidden sheets and things back there. And then once it saves, you can edit your templates. Okay, so now you get to plug this in, and it's going to give you a tag for each of your columns in your Google Form. So all the questions you asked, you're going to get one for each. Now there aren't very many here because we didn't ask very many questions in this form. But you can go ahead and plug in the to form. The trick to remember here is if you're going to use formMule, you need to ask for their email address. Or if it's your students or someone in your domain, you want to check the box to automatically collect their username, because it's really not very helpful if you don't have emails to send out emails. So make sure you ask for the email address. So I want their email address to be in there, so I just tap on the tag and it puts it in. I don't need to CC or BCC, but you could if you wanted to. And then let's say I just want all the reply to come to me. Okay, you put in a subject. I type while people are watching. All right, your course sign up. So put a little dash there, because. Okay, and then you can build your email. So I'm going to say, dear first name. Okay. Now, when you put things up here, it just puts the tag. But when you put them in the body, it like thinks you want to list information, which is handy in some cases. For me, for my help ticket, I like to just plop those in, and it kind of gives me this. But if I wanted to just say, dear Johnny, I don't want it to say, dear first name Johnny. So you just have to go in and delete out that little piece that it puts in, and you only want it to do the tag. So inside here, this just means it's going to insert whatever they typed in that cell. So this one will be dear first name, whatever their name is. Okay. I'll say, thank you for signing for your course. I see that you have selected, and then I'm going to plug in the course they signed up for. And again, I don't want it to say course sign up. I want it to read like a sentence and just plug it in there. So I see that you have selected, whichever course. More information will come soon. You finish up your thing. This does take HTML, as it says over here. So for instance, in my help desk one, I have a bold line with a hyperlink in it that I did in HTML, and then when I paste that in here, when it sends the email, it bolds it and does the hyperlink and everything. So it is HTML friendly if you want to put links or something else in here. Okay, and then I just want to sign it, thank you. This is Nixon. Okay, and you can plug in, some of these you might plug in more than one tag. You might plug in 6 or 7. It might be a list of information that you're sending to people based on what they've sent you. Or if you have a form that you collect from people, but you don't really want to go look through your spreadsheet, you just want it to send you emails, you can put all the information in here. But this should be enough for you to see how it looks. Now, after you plug in all your templates, you just can preview and send them. So when I click preview and send all, what it's going to do is formulate those emails and show them to me. And it reminds you of your quota in case you run over your Gmail quota there. These will go in your sent items. Some automated things won't put stuff in your sent mail, but this will, so you'll be able to see them all. But so here's an email. It's going to this email address. It replies to me, and see how it plugged it in? Dear Sally, thank you for signing up for your course. I see that you selected course 3. So it just plugged in the information that they put in the form. And you can scroll through and see all your emails. And then when you're ready, you just hit send now, and off go the emails. And then they'll be in your sent items. And there's 2 ways, see, and now you can see when it was sent. And it tells you the status there. Now, if you have a spreadsheet with email addresses in it, but you don't actually have a form attached to it, you can still use formMule. You'll just have to paste in their email addresses. So when you go to run formMule, it's gonna catch all of your column titles. So if beforehand you go and paste your student emails or your parent emails or whatever into a column, then it's going to give you a tag, a merge tag for that column. So you don't have to necessarily have a form. As long as you have email addresses and other information in a sheet, you'll be able to send out those automatic emails. For instance, when I'm going to be absent and I have a whole classroom full of my 6th grade coding students and I need to get information to them that's personalized, like which project I show that they should be working on, then I can go ahead and use formMule. I just paste in their email addresses and send it out that way, because we don't have an LMS yet that does that. So I can send it out using formMule and not have to send 21 separate emails. How are we doing, Kelly, on questions? Have any come through?
Nope, none have come through.
All right, guys, do you have any questions? That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple to use, and it's really handy. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so I can take a look at our window. There we are. Wait, any questions, anybody? Pretty straightforward, right? Way easier than it sounds.
Ari had a question. Is it like Autocrat for emails, essentially?
Basically, yes. And I need to dive into Autocrat. I haven't used that as much. But yes, hi, Ari. You should all see Ari. Wave, Ari.
Yeah, in my limited experience of formMule, it was definitely just for email, but it was significantly easier to use because Autocrat requires you to do like a couple different templates to start out. So I did like formMule when I've used it.
Yeah.
For the simplicity. And
it just, yeah, it simplifies it down to just the email. But Autocrat will do a lot of different things, create documents and things too, right? If I know right.
Yeah, and that's what Nancy just commented. What I like about it is that it sends emails instead of creating PDFs or Google Docs.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So I mean, they both have their merits and why you'd want to use them. I think formMule is something you definitely could use more frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly like Nancy just said. It depends on what your needs are and what you need it for. Yeah. Cool.
Any other questions? Patsy, you have any questions? Rachel?
I don't know if Patsy's in. Are there any in the Boxer?
I have not checked the Boxer.
No, I don't see any questions there. All right. Cool. Well, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Oh, here we go. How do we see classroom teachers using it? I used it, for instance, we had parents, when we signed up for parent conferences, they use a Google form and they choose 3 times that work for them, and then the teacher decides which one will be the actual time. And so I would plug in all my parent emails that I have from other Google forms. And then I would add that in and put their conference time and send them a little confirmation email using this. That way I didn't have to worry about sending all 21 confirmation emails or writing notes home or anything. We got some sound in the background here. Is that from you, Kelly?
Could be.
Oh, there's some Patsy there. Hi, Patsy.
Would Kara just join us?
Maybe that's it.
I think that once you start using things like formMule, you find more uses for them. Like I was even thinking for myself for staff development, if I have teachers signing up, I'd rather do it this way than it sends the auto reply email. I still have the data in the sheet, but they then know what they signed up for because a lot of times we have one staff development day in August, and in the past it's been either 1 full day session or 2 half-day sessions. Not really a whole lot of information, but I still have teachers show up in August to go, I forgot what I signed up for. So this just gives you a better record, I think.
Yes, Nancy, that's right.
I like that.
Yeah, to send reminder emails, and I've done that before, and I use it to send follow-up emails. So if they sign up in a Google form to come to my Appy Hour or something, then I can say, you know, thanks for coming, here are all the resources that we looked at today, and send that to them in an email. And then I can even set it, you know, for a few weeks later, I can go in and email from it again and say, you know, how's it going? Have you tried anything from our session yet? So it allows you to just kind of keep up that without having to keep an email group of who was there.
Good point. All right, I think that's probably it, unless there's any other questions.
All right. And one more thing I wanted to say for Patsy for classroom teachers is that you could use it to send students specific feedback on their Google Forms answers. So if they take a quiz or an assignment or submit something by a Google form and your students have email, mine didn't because they were, you know, younger than 6th grade. But if they do, then you can go ahead and make yourself a column because you can add columns to your Google form and then use those to message through formMule. So I would add extra columns for feedback or something, type my message to the students, and then you could go ahead and run the formMule to send them their personalized feedback to what their answers were. And you could even use the tags to put their answers right in the email if you wanted, if they needed to be reminded of it. So. All right, well, thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. We'll get the live link up so you can refer back to it later if you want to, but thanks for listening in on True Confessions of an EdTech TOSA, Episode 1. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.